Hey, this is Gene. I have a new phone, as you can tell. I look a lot older now. I just got walking in North Alabama. I just want to talk a little bit about Dexter Resurrection. I watched the entire series. Um, all overall, I think it's probably the best one since the first season. Um, it's a lot of plot holes, but it's always that way with Dexter. He gets away with so much stuff. But let's just talk about the last one. Um, as smart as Prater was, after he kills Batista and his henchman woman doesn't check for any phones or anything like that, and also in that type of vault, I don't see how they could have got any cell service. Um, I mean, I loved how it ended, right? I love the fourth wall breaking at the end. And really, the real fans of Dexter really want exactly what he said at the end. I'm going to be exactly what you want me to be. Um, it's just, if this cop is so good, and I love the fact that she got out there and danced. I think we've been waiting for that she was going to actually show herself as a real person, right? And tell you what, she looked kind of hot on the on the dance floor. I have to give her that. Um, that kind of music kind of do that to you, right? And so that's my life. That's my time. When uh, was it Saturday Night Fever? I think it was '76. I mean, I was a boy back then. But anyway, get back to that. It seems they're going to get the gun, and the gun is not really his. Um, it's not Prater's unless all the guns that are run by the security staff is under his name, which is possible. It could be uh, leased out to him, I guess. But I'm sure there's a file somewhere that said who actually has each gun. And you would think that they will go back in real life. They would go back and say, "Oh, okay," and then they'll find this guy that was a security guard, and then he'll understand that Prater came in and said this to him, and he said he made him turn off all the cameras except the one, and he saw somebody there, and that's still going to be on video. So the cop's going to see that that's Harrison. She's still going to believe that, Batista was on some of the right, knew what he was doing, and they're going to go look, and they'll probably look at CCTV all that night, seeing who comes in and out of the gala, and they're going to see Harrison coming and going. And they're also going to see all the incidents of where Morgan is. And I don't really think that Dexter had anything that was really covering up his face when he was leaving. And also, they're going to have the GPS on the boat. And they're going to see that that somebody took it out there and where it stopped. And they're going to find his body. And they're going to know it's the Bay Harper butcher. So, a lot of that is, it's just TV. It's not real. But I think that'd be pretty easy to find out who was doing it, and why he was there. And I don't know if it's going to, obviously there's going to be a second season or a third season. And he has his new kill list, which is all great to see go after these people. But I think that the stuff in the background will always be there. And at some point he's going to have to be captured. And I think that the end of the show should be what I've always said it should be, is him going to trial. Now, that will be the whole thing where he just says he admits to all of it, so he doesn't have to go through a trial. But I would love to see the last season be about his trial. And he gets exactly what he deserves. Yeah, he killed bad people, but we can't live in a society that we have people like that. And then either he, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, he dies with lethal injection. I don't know how it is in New York State, of course, but Florida it would be. If he gets extradited back to Florida, then that's got a death penalty state. So yeah, he would be able to be done that. I mean, there has to be a time that there's a finality of all this. So, and as much as we're going to love the fact he's going to kill all these bad people, he has to at some point take responsibility for everything and be the one that actually is being judged. So, overall, great season. A lot of people say this might be the greatest season ever for a TV show. I mean, I'm biased. I've always loved Dexter, and me and my daughter, when I used to have more time with her. I mean, she's like in her 30s now. That was the thing that we actually bonded over. We have this real dark passenger stuff. Now that we bonded over stuff like that, and we talked about what we do if we were doing something like that, and that's just all. I mean, obviously we never do it, but I mean, overall it was very, very good. It's hard to say the best ever. I mean, when you think about it, as long as it's been around, different type of iterations of it. I mean, it's one of the top 5. I'll give it that. I never watched Breaking Bad, so I can't really say whether that's up there. I never watched Lost. Didn't watch what's the one in Baltimore, the one about the cops. I could see it, but I can't remember the name of it. The Wire. Never watched that, so I can't really say he's the best. But for me, and it was nice to see he was back, what he needs to be. I think Hall was very good, and I think there's a lot of. I think a lot of people need to apologize to the actor who makes Harrison. I think he did really well this year. I think he was so much better because I think the writers were better. I don't know who did it in New Blood. I don't think those are the same writers. The writers, even though there's a lot of plot holes, and of course Dexter always somehow gets through all this stuff when everybody should be able to see him. I mean, you're in New York City. This is after the Patriot Act. There is cameras everywhere. There's just no way that they don't have him leaving a Prater's residence and walking to the boat. And once he's on the boat, you know it's him, and then you know where the boat stopped, and then you know where the body is. They're going to go find him. That's how it should be. But it could be because this woman is more autistic. She might say, well, now I have my white whale. I know who the New York Ripper is, and I'm not going to go down that road and figure that out. Because in her mind, she might think that what he's doing is not a bad thing. You know, he's always, trying to kill bad people. And there's a possibility of that. But her partner might actually say there's more here. But her partner loves her. So he's going to do whatever she wants him to do. I did see this morning there were people thinking that Uma Thurman will have a recurring role with Dexter, maybe to help find people. So even though she's a bad person too, she was killing people. But you can't. Both of them would both go to jail and be. Well, women don't usually get the death penalty, but she would because of the nature of her kills. I'm not going to say they're going to be teaming up or that's going to be a love interest for Dexter. I don't believe that. I think that'd be kind of stupid at this point. There are other people out there that know him. So the question is, will they stay in New York City? And I think they probably will. It's just interesting where this could go. Clearly, next season it's him killing all these other ones. And the question is, are they all in New York City? I wouldn't think that would be the case. Maybe even Harrison might propose to this woman. And maybe there's something with her, too. There have been a lot of discussions that maybe she's a daughter of some of these people. I don't think that's the case because what they were doing at the end there. And I wouldn't be shocked because she's into blood as well. I don't know. And I think there's a possibility that if it becomes, they go 2 years in the future to make Harrison get through his school, and he's actually working on the cops and finding all these bad people, and his father is going out and he's leaving them. He's like, here's the new one. I don't know. I mean, obviously next year it's going to be all those serial killers that he has in that thing. But at the end, whatever it's another 3 years or it's 5 years or whatever, he has to face the consequences. It shouldn't be for his son killing him or a cop killing him. It needs to be, everybody needs to know who he is. And see how we as a society would either celebrate that or look at that in horror. And I think that'd be an interesting way to close the show out. At the very end, he's found guilty, and then maybe they'll do a little thing. They're 5 years or 10 years in the future, and he's heading to the death chamber for his thing. And meanwhile, in the background, you hear about all the people that he killed and all that stuff, and there'll be a lot of supporters out there, and one of them probably his son, who might actually be married and have kids and all that stuff. And then it just leaves there. We don't actually see him get killed, but that's just how it begins. You know, he's laying down on the table like his kills, and probably in a Jesus, with his arms out like that, getting the lethal injection inside him. Anyway, that's just all I had to say about that. I just wanted to try my new phone out and see how it looks. I mean, like I said, I look a billion years older now. The other one, even though it's a decent, at 1080, this is 4K. And depends how it actually loads. But I definitely look old. But I'm 60, so what I'm supposed to look like 20? No, I had a long life, so this is what happens to you, man. This is fucking gravity here. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about the season, if you watched it. If you haven't, and you've never watched Dexter, I know a lot of people, nobody watches my shit. Every now and then I get over 1,000 views. Usually it's when I'm tearing down another pundit or I'm talking about technology. If you never watched Dexter, it's on Showtime. You can watch everything, and you can watch the spin-offs of it that we've had. And it's all good. Great seasons, good seasons. This season it was obviously return to form. I mean, Howell is always great in the role, but last year with what they did, or New Blood, I think the writing was not as good as it was this year. I'm just anyway. That's what happens when you walk walking around. But anyway, let me know in the comments, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.